Hello, whiskey lovers, and welcome to another one of Mark's whiskey ramblings, the Diageo Special Releases. Now, that is something every whiskey lover looks out for every year, and this year we also have the very first official release of Roseisle. Roseisle, yes, the only other time that you could actually get a glimpse of Roseisle was also in the Diageo Special Releases a couple of years ago when they released that special one, the Collectivum, which was a blended malt with all 28 single malts from Diageo's distilleries. But this time around, they actually released a 12 years old Roseisle in its own right, the Origami Kite. Now, I have to be honest, the Diageo Special Releases, they never disappoint. Or do they? One of the mainstays in the Diageo Special Releases is, for example, the Lagavulin, and it's always been a top dram. But this year, the Ink of Legends, which was matured in tequila casks, was really not to my liking. So there you have it. The Singleton was a happy surprise. Glenkinchie, 27 years old Glenkinchie. You've maybe seen my other rambling about the Glenkinchie. Absolutely delicious. And then Talisker and Clynelish, they are always very good. Mortlach remains the beast of Dufftown. And finally, the Oban was also a bit funky this time around on these, what was it, rum casks, if I'm not mistaken. That was also a bit funky, but yeah, usually they're pretty good, and I'm always excited to try them. I try all of them, but today I would like to talk to you about that very special one, the Roseisle 12 years old. When it was first announced, I was like, "Ooh, we've never tried Roseisle before. And are we going to get more Roseisle now? Are they finally going to release it?" Because Roseisle is, in fact, a distillery that was built in 2007, purposely built to provide Diageo with enough malts for the blending industry, for Johnnie Walker, for Bell's, for Buchanan. So, yeah, that's the purpose of the Roseisle distillery. So we weren't really sure if we were ever going to see the single malt on its own, but here it is. All right, so it's a very green distillery. It's a huge distillery. Some of my friends call it the Death Star of distilleries, referring to, obviously, Star Wars. But it's a very green distillery. They even won the Sustainability Project of the Year award in 2010. So yeah, they create several styles of whiskey. They can, because they've got so many stills to play with. But they primarily make two styles: Speyside Light and Speyside Heavy. Just putting that out there, that's what they can do. Well, they do produce 12.5 million litres per annum with their, 14 copper pot stills, if I'm not mistaken. Now, which style is this going to be? I'm not sure. So let's find out. 12 years old, bottled at 56.5% ABV. That's quite handsome. Natural cask strength, it says, and it matured on first fill ex-bourbon and refill casks. So nothing fancy, nothing fancy-pantsy, no fooling around with special casks like tequila or rum or port or whatever, just plain good old bourbon casks. And then bottled at cask strength. And this has got a beautiful, bright golden color. 12 years old only, Roseisle Distillery, a first. Right, let's find out if this is any good on the nose. Surprisingly fresh, inviting. I get vanilla, some deep fried donut balls, apple pie and lime, some yuzu, in fact, some icing sugar. This is a very pleasant surprise indeed, and this is quintessential Speyside style. Good on the palate. That's a pleasant continuation of the nose, to be honest. It's slightly darker now, meaning I get some baked apples in there, some candied peach, a fresh hint of mint there as well. The vanilla turns into something, a bit of caramel, a bit darker than what the nose promised, but quite mouth-coating, mouth-filling, slightly spicy, just a slight spiciness in there, just to warm the mouth and keep things interesting, but very well balanced indeed. And I think I can say I like this very, very much. Right, on the finish then. Pleasantly long, wonderfully fruity, very good finish indeed. This is actually summer in your glass. It ticks all the Speyside boxes, and I highly recommend this one. This is next to the Glenkinchie, which was, but it's a completely different price range, of course. But next to the Glenkinchie, these two were the ones that deserve the happy dance this year around. Well, the client list never fails, but it never fails, so you come to expect it not to fail. But these two were, what's this going to be? And they are both delicious. But big shout out to the Roseisle and to the Emperor and the Imperial Commanders up there in Diageo. Don't let us wait 3, 4, 5 more years before you release another beautiful Roseisle Distillery release, because quite like it, and I want more of it. And that's all for this Whiskey Rambling, and I hope to see you at one of Mark's Whiskey Ramblings real soon. And until then, may the malt be with you.